colleagues, hello sleep-deprived people. Yes, I'm giving this talk on behalf of my colleague Ben Lascelles, who can't be here, but this is essentially his work that I'll be describing. And when I talk about the marine environment, I'm not talking about, of those 12,000 IBAs that you've heard about, I'm not talking about the seabird breeding colonies which have been identified since the start of the process, which are limited to the terrestrial areas only. I'm talking about extending that to out into the marine realm, both in EEZs and into international waters. The issue here has been, away from the reason why it's taken us so long, the reason why it's only really happened in the last 5 years that identification of marine IBAs has happened, is that it presents an extra set of technical challenges, as well as you might imagine. And much of this is actually about boundary definition and defining sites. It's not about the criteria that we use to select those sites. They are the same, or at least they're 2 of the 4 that we use to identify IBAs, and the 2 there that you see about being based on species that are globally threatened and congregations of species. But it's about the technical challenges of how one defines sites in at sea. And this has required a collection of a significant body of data to enable analyses to take place so that the sites then can be used to identify the sites themselves. Over the past 5 years, we've had a number of projects going with about 40 partners around the world now working on this with us in the Secretariat in Cambridge and around the regions. And the data sets that we have used, the 2 main ones are those related to the Tracking Ocean Wanderers database, which is a global set of what it says of satellite tracking information from principally albatrosses and petrels, but not only that. Also a database on habitat preferences of foraging data on inshore species in particular. And the final database I'll mention is the web portal through which the analysed data are then shown to the world, if you like. This is the sort of example of analysis that we try to undertake to do for species which around breeding colonies, based on foraging ranges, aspects of foraging ecology, trying to get a sense of, for species-specific data of how far the birds can range from their colony, and in some cases there's enough information that it's actually site-specific as well as being species-specific. And where the data are good enough, where the data layers exist, we can cut that with not just foraging range, but also dive depth and even some substrate preferences as well. So one can come up with some quite sophisticated boundary definition as a result of this. The other data set is the Tracking Ocean Wanderers database. This was actually established quite 10 years ago now to help with our work in mitigating albatross bycatch in fisheries, long-line fisheries. But now it's been adapted and extended for help with IBA identification. And we've got information now for over 100 species of seabird, and covering 15,000 tracks and 2.5 million locations, it says here. Now, these seductive wiggly worms are an example of a grey-headed albatross tracks from the island of Chile. And this is the sort of thing, first step in the stage of finding out where the species is going. Starting from obviously the key area of the star is the breeding colony, and those are particular individuals that are being tracked from that colony. Then one starts doing running some statistical analyses on it to show where the kernel analysis to show where they're spending significant amounts of their time, to isolate sort of core areas where, particularly where we know that they're spending a lot of time because that's where they're feeding. And skipping a couple of steps, the final stage is that one can then go on to use these core areas of make an assessment of the population as a whole, because obviously the number of marked individuals from that colony is relatively few. But by overlaying combining the analyses of the various individuals that are marked and provide that gives you a picture of by undertaking some statistical tests to show how representative those tracks of birds are as a colony of a whole. We can come up again with some hotspots being identified. Obviously, there's a couple there near the colony itself, but also there's some potential sites off the Antarctic Peninsula there, which one would then have to compare the numbers that are found in there, or the statistics yes that are found in there, against the IBA thresholds and the criteria to define the extent to which they actually qualify and what those boundaries might look like. What we call the Marine IBA e-Atlas is a web portal on the BirdLife's data zone, which shows the results of the network to date. There are about 3,500 marine IBAs identified, many of which, as I say, are not are seabird breeding colonies, so there's relatively fewer in the actual ocean itself. But there are now over 120 in the high seas outside of the EEZs, which obviously BirdLife provides us with another set of challenges because we're a partner-based organisation, but obviously that breaks down in the high seas. There are no partners no national partners for there, so we have having to take on the responsibility for site identifications at the secretariat level in that case. We've got about 22.5 million square kilometres, or 62.2% of the oceans identified as IBAs, proposed and confirmed, and working on that is ongoing. Just want to turn quickly now to some of the policy aspects here. We have, particularly the EBSAs, the ecologically and biologically significant areas of the CBD, we've contributed so far to the 10 workshops that have been held to date, covering about 70% of the world's oceans so far. And about 600 marine IBAs, mainly defined from tracking data, have been included within the 250 or so EBSAs that have been agreed to date, some of which are solely based on seabird data. The example here is the South Pacific workshop held in Fiji in 2012, where 16 of the 22 EBSAs were described as supported by IBA data. Some of it solely based on the analysis of the tracking information I was describing earlier. And some more sort of completed conservation successes shown here, where earlier this summer, following all the work by SEO, our Spanish partner organisation, the Spanish government has formally declared 39 new special protection areas in Spain's EEZ, based on the marine IBA work. Finally, it just behooves me to point out and acknowledge that particularly that tracking data set is not BirdLife data. We're merely the repository, the custodian of it. 140 plus contributors are putting information into it, and we're seeking to expand that now beyond albatrosses and petrels to looking at penguins in particular, off the Antarctic and elsewhere. Thank you very much.